Here at Route 66 Stadium, it's the University of St. Francis taking on Grandview University on a Saturday afternoon showdown. Thanks for tuning in. Terry Bonadonna with you on the call for today's non-conference matchup between the Saints at 11-11 and the Vikings, who come in with a record of 3-7. St. Francis is out in the field. They are getting themselves warmed up for the start of today's game, so let's take a look at the starting lineup first for the visiting team from Grandview. Leading off and playing left field for the Vikings is Connor Enox. Drew Prange bats second and plays third base. Hitting third, the shortstop Tyler Smith. Isaac Rodriguez is the cleanup hitter and center fielder. Josh Luna bats fifth at first base. Nolan Friedrichs is in right field. Marcus Shives bats seventh and does the designated hitting. Batting eighth is second baseman Sergio Alanis, and hitting ninth, the catcher Caleb McDowell. The starting pitcher for Grandview today is Parker Thode. For St. Francis, the leadoff batter is right fielder Travis Schoonover. Hitting second, designated hitter Michael Quirum. Jake Lasota bats third and does the catching. Hitting cleanup, first baseman Anthony Farron. Jonathan Wolf plays shortstop. Batting sixth, third baseman Josh Tesh. Sean Harper hits seventh and plays left field. Noah Carraro is at second base, and batting ninth, the center fielder, Dolan Nicholson. The starting pitcher for Game 1 of today's doubleheader is right-hander John Reardon. Reardon will face Connor Enox to begin the ball game. I'll give you his numbers in just a moment, but here we go with the first pitch of the game. It is inside for ball one, and we're underway at 12:59 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Both these teams out of the Central Time Zone. Grandview makes the trip in from Iowa. 1-0 pitch is rolled weakly to the right side of the infield. Picked up by the first baseman Farron. He flips it over to Reardon, covering the bag, and we're off and running. A 3-1 putout to begin today's ball game. Good start for Reardon and the Fighting Saints. And Reardon has been accustomed to good starts this year. He's 3-1 in his 6 outings on the mound. He's making his team leading 7th start of the season today. 4.91 ERA for the junior Reardon in 29 1/3 innings. He's allowed 17 runs, 16 of them earned on 32 hits, with 26 strikeouts, just 13 walks. He's ahead of Drew Prange, 0-1 with a first pitch strike. Foul ball straight back. This is a 7-inning game for part 1 of the doubleheader. As Reardon winds and fires ball 1 to Prange. Count is even. Reardon out of St. Lawrence High School in Chicago, Illinois. There's a called strike. It's 1-2. In his senior season, I think I referred to him as a junior before. He's in his senior season out of St. Lawrence. Righty to lefty, the 1-2 pitch. Grounded to the right side. This time it's fielded by the second baseman. Noah Carraro's throw over to first is in time for out number 2. Tough location on that ground ball. It wasn't hit exceptionally hard. Farron and Carraro, the first and second baseman, both made a play for it. Farron peeled off, realized he wasn't going to get there, so he went back to cover the bag, hoping Carraro could cover enough ground to field that grounder, and he did in shallow right field in time to make the play. 2 outs, nobody on. Tyler Smith takes ball 1. Smith had 4 hits in his last outing for Grandview as he takes a ball outside, 2-0. However, that was a game that the Vikings lost to Waldorf. Just 3-7 on the season. As there's a swing and a miss. It's 2-1. They managed 10 hits total in that game. 8 of them came from 2 different players. That's kind of been the theme for Grandview. Not able to get the whole lineup clicking at the same time. Popped up, foul, and out of play. It's 2-2. They enter today's game hitting just 164 as a team through 10 games. They've got a total of 42 hits. And remember, they had 10 of them in their last game. So that means they had just 32 hits in their first 9 games. Less than 4 hits per contest. Ball outside, 3-2. They have no hits to start today's game, but we're just 2 batters into it. They're trying to get their first base runner right here. A full count on Tyler Smith, who swings and lofts it into left center field. That's a base hit. Sean Harper races into the gap, makes a sliding cutoff. Smith is trying for 2 anyway. The throw in is not in time. It's a double. Good piece of hitting for Smith. And solid base running as well as he sprints into second base, sliding in safely with a 2-out, 2-base hit. Grandview's got a chance to jump on the board early in this game. Hasn't been easy against St. Francis's pitching staff, which has been masterful of late. They've given up a combined total of 8 runs over their last 5 games, all of them wins. Swing and a miss from Isaac Rodriguez for strike 1. Rodriguez, the center fielder, also coming off of a big game against Waldorf. He's hitting .250 on the season, 8 for 32. 1 home run, 10 RBIs. He takes a ball inside. It's 1-1. Rodriguez's homer is one of just 2 so far this season for Grandview. Tyler Smith has the other. Not an easy ballpark to knock it out of today. Ball in the dirt. It gets between the legs of Jake Lasota. Heading for third and standing up safely is Smith. It's 2-1 on Rodriguez, and on the wild pitch, there's a man in scoring position. Well, I guess he was already in scoring position. Now he's even closer to scoring. Third base, 2 outs. 2-1, a hitter's count on the very dangerous Isaac Rodriguez. Swing and a miss, a big cut there from the Grandview center fielder. It's 2-2. The Vikings have pitched very well as a team this year, sub-4 ERA. As soon as they get their offense to catch up, they could have a very good team. Swinging a foul tip in and out of the glove of Lasota. Jake Lasota has been playing left field primarily during the homestand, which has reached its 8th game today. Today's behind the plate. Another 2-2, grounded foul to the first base side. We'll see another 2-ball and 2-strike pitch. Adam Cebulka, who typically has been doing the catching for the Fighting Saints, getting some time off today. Game 1 of the doubleheader, we may see him yet. In game 2, another 2-2 pitch. Ground ball right side. It hugs the line and just barely stays fair. Anthony Farron picks it up while standing on the bag to retire the side. 3 unassisted. The inning is over. We'll head to the bottom of the first inning as Grandview leaves a man at third. They don't score, and we are at 0-0. Bottom of the first inning, no score. St. Francis is getting their first chance at bat. Schoonover, Quirum, and Lasota do up. Farron, Wolf, Tesh, Harper, Carraro, and Nicholson make up the rest of the lineup. Facing Grandview's starting pitcher Parker Thode, making his 4th start of the season among his team's 11 games. He's 1-2 with a 3.60 ERA. His first pitch to left-handed hitting right fielder Travis Schoonover is swung on and fouled back for strike 1. Thode this season has pitched 20 innings, also a team high 8 runs, all of them earned. He has allowed 19 hits, 17 strikeouts, and only 3 walks. So he is a strike thrower. Ball low and in, 1-1 on Schoonover. It's bad timing for that ball one. Did get him with the first pitch strike, though. The count is even. Travis Schoonover, the second leading hitter on the team among everyday starters for St. Francis. He sends this ball high in the air out to deep right field. Backing up is Friedrichs. He's at the edge of the warning track and pulls up as he makes the catch for out number 1. Schoonover just got under that one. Very hard contact, but he lifted it too high as it died just in front of the wall out in right field. Catch was made by Friedrichs with his feet just barely touching the warning track. 1 up, 1 down in the first. Here's Michael Quirum. Quirum has made a name for himself with St. Francis as a pitcher, getting the job as DH today. He swings through the first one for strike 1. Getting his 14th at bat of the year. Quirum is 3 for 13 on the season. That's a .231 batting average. He's also walked once. Has been on base 4 times in total. He takes a ball, low and in. It's 1-1. Quirum threw a gem on the mound the other day. He's got a pair of wins and a .379 ERA for the Fighting Saints. Ground ball down the third base line, foul, and the count is 1-2. But again, trying to do his damage with the bat in this game. He'll be followed by Jake Lasota, who moves up into the 3-hole. Saints are in white, the Vikings in black for today's twin bill. Swing and a miss. Quirum chases one low and outside for strike 3. 2 down in the inning. First strikeout of the game for either pitcher. 2 up, 2 down, and the batter is Jake Lasota. Lasota, a .302 batter, has got a pair of extra base hits. Both of them have been doubles. He's driven in 2 runs. First pitch from Thode to Lasota, a couple of right-handers. Swung on and missed, strike 1. Back-to-back swings and misses elicited by Thode pitches. The final one to Quirum, and now the first offering to Lasota as well. Here comes the 0-1. Swung on and missed. That's 3 straight. The count is 0-2. St. Francis today trying to win their 8th consecutive ball game, all of them here at home. Their homestand now more than halfway over. They've won all 7 games, meaning they're guaranteed a winning record on this homestand of 12 games. There's a tapper to the right side of the infield rolling along the line, and it kicks foul. Still 0-2. Lasota has not looked all that comfortable in this at-bat so far. A couple of awkward swings and misses. That time he just threw the bat at the ball. A pitch that looked to be out of the strike zone, but he was able to keep it alive by making just enough contact to roll it foul to the first base side. He'll get another 0-2 offering from Thode. This time he swings and grounds it up the middle. Sliding stop by the second baseman Alanes. The throw to first is in time to get him. Nice play by the Grandview infield. A ground ball up the middle to the right of the second baseman, Sergio Alanes, and he was able to slide, make a backhanded stop, and have enough time to get to his feet and throw out the base runner. 1-2-3 go the Saints in the first. We go to the second inning, no score. Luna leads off the top of the second inning for Grandview in a scoreless tie. John Reardon doing the pitching out of the windup. His first toss misses outside for ball one. Josh Luna, the first baseman, is 2 for 10 on the year with a run scored and a run knocked in. Starting just his 4th game, he lines it sharply into left field, but right at Sean Harper. An easy catch for the left fielder. 1 down. Good start to the second inning for John Reardon. Here's Nolan Friedrichs. Friedrichs, the right fielder for Grandview, hitting 143. One of 5 Vikings who has started every game so far this year. It's been a tough schedule so far, though, for Grandview as Friedrichs takes a ball high. They've only played 10 games, now more than a month into the season. In fact, we're closing in on 2 months into the season. Haven't been in action all that much. Ball up and away, 2-0. I talk often about the weather early in the year. You tend to get a lot of cancellations or at least postponements. Grandview at one point this season had 15 games in a row that had to be canceled because of the weather. Fouled away and out of play. Count is 2-1. So when you go 15 straight games that you're supposed to play that you don't, you end up having played fewer games than most other teams. So St. Francis has more than doubled up the number of contests they've appeared in. As Grandview, there's a fly ball out to right field. Tracking it over is Schoonover towards right center. He makes the catch for out number 2. 2 flyouts, 2 down. 5 of the first 6 have been retired by Reardon, and now he'll look for a 1-2-3 frame against the designated hitter, Marcus Chives. Swing and a miss, strike 1. 190 hitter this season. Chives is 4 for 21 at the plate with a double and an RBI. Trying to start a 2-out rally for the Vikings. He takes one a little bit low. And the count becomes 1-1. 2 outs, nobody on base. We're in the top of the second inning. 1-1 pitch. Taken outside for ball 2. It's a non-conference game here in late March. A non-conference series, in fact. More to come after this. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Doubleheader today. Another game scheduled for 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Swing and a miss, strike 3. It's the first strikeout of the game for John Reardon in a 1-2-3 second inning. He's retired 6 of 7 that he's faced so far in the game. We head to the bottom of the second inning, no score. It's the bottom half of the second inning, and slugging first baseman Anthony Farron leads things off for the Fighting Saints. Middle of the order due up After Parker Thode went through the order 1, 2, 3 in the first frame. Farron, Wolf, and Tesh. First pitch to Anthony Farron is fought off foul to the right side for strike one. Anthony Farron is the team's leading hitter at .468. He's 29 for 62 at the plate so far this year. He's got an on-base percentage well over 500 at .528. 2 homers, 19 runs batted in. He hits this ball high into the air left field. It's pretty deep, but it's playable. Backing up and making the catch is Connor Enox, one down. So that's always a big threat removed from the lineup each time he's retired. Big out recorded by Parker Thode. One down in the second. Here's Jonathan Wolf. 4 straight have been retired by Thode to begin today's ball game. Jonathan Wolf is playing shortstop for the second consecutive game in place of Dustin Krob. Wolf is hitting .204 this year. A homer, 9 RBIs. He tries to stop his swing, but is unable to do so successfully. Strike one. He went around on that pitch, which missed the zone. But it's a pitcher's count just the same. Right-hander versus right-hander. Thode gets the sign in from Caleb McDowell. Here's the 0-1 toss to Jonathan Wolf. He tried to check it again and again was unsuccessful. Count goes to 0-2. Jonathan Wolf, a freshman from Kalamazoo, Michigan, stands in the box and waits the 0-2 offering. Thode has gotten Wolf to chase on back-to-back pitches. See if he tries it again. He does go low and away. This time Wolf doesn't flinch. Count is 1-2. Each of the first 2 pitches, they were nearly identical. Wolf tried to stop his swing, but he went around on a ball low and outside. Now it's 1-2. Thode is set. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3, and he goes down looking. Tough at bat for Jonathan Wolf. A couple of awkward swings for the first 2 strikes, and then once he was put in a hole, he couldn't pull the trigger on 1 and 2. And it's the second strikeout of the game for Parker Thode, who has now set down 5 in a row. And the batter is Josh Tesh. Tesh at third base today. Takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. Josh Tesh is hitting .242 on the season with 6 RBIs. He flies this ball to the right side, foul territory, and out of play over the dugout of Grandview. The count is 0-2. Two outs, nobody on base. Thode steps back atop the mound, toes the rubber, and sets. Next pitch to Tesh. Called strike 3, back-to-back strikeouts. He got both Tesh and Wolf looking to end the second inning. 1-2-3 go the Fighting Saints. Not much offense early in this game as we head to the third, scoreless. Top of the third inning, no score between St. Francis and Grandview. Just one base runner so far, and that changes right now. Sergio Alanis lines the first pitch out to center field, a base hit. A man on very quickly here in the third inning as the number 8 batter comes up with a first pitch single off of John Reardon, and that brings up the catcher Caleb McDowell. First time either team has gotten their leadoff man on. Reardon had retired 6 of the first 7 batters. Now make it 6 out of 8. Here's McDowell bunting it up into the air and into the seats. Foul for strike 1. Caleb McDowell this season as catcher for Grandview is hitting .083. He's just 1 of 12 at the plate. So here he's being asked to sacrifice himself. He's done that once before this year. Squares up again, gets the bunt down, third base side, gloved on a bounce by Josh Tesh. He throws it to first, and the tag is applied at first base by Anthony Farron. The throw from Tesh was a little bit off the mark, and the reason I think is because he looked to second base first to see if he had a forced play there. Decided instead to take the easy out. Because his head was turned, it became a little bit less easy. The throw was high, pulled Farron off the base, but Farron was able to apply the tag successfully. So Alanis gets into second base on a sacrifice from McDowell. 1 out, and we're back to the top of the order, and Connor Enox. Enox takes ball 1 high. Reardon sets for the next pitch and fires a strike on the swing. Enox unable to connect. It's 1-1. Connor Enox is 0 for 1 in the game. He offered at a 1-0 pitch back in the first inning and grounded it to the first baseman, Anthony Farron. He was retired 3-1. Now getting his second chance up. The 1-1 offering from Reardon. Swing and a miss. This time Enox bats with a chance to drive in a run. A man in scoring position. Enox, though, has not had a lot of success at the plate, hitting just .194. He doesn't have an RBI yet this year. And he's in a 1-2 hole in this at-bat. Reardon looking for the second out of the inning. Fly ball out to right field. Travis Schoonover backpedals a few paces and makes the catch for the second out. Tagging from second and heading for third, standing up, is Sergio Alanis. And there's a man now for the second time today for Grandview at third base. There are, however, 2 outs, and they'll need a hit from Drew Prange to get him in. Leadoff single for Grandview this inning. They've been able to work that runner around the base paths from first to second and now to third. But with 2 outs, Prange can't concentrate on a bunt or a fly ball to get this runner in. Fouled back off the screen, strike 1. Barring a mistake from St. Francis, he'll need a hit. He's behind in the count, 0-1. He grounded out to second base in the first inning, so he's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Left-handed hitting infielder takes the ball low and outside. It's 1-1. Prange is a 100 hitter. At least he was coming in, 3 for 30. Now at 3 for 31, he's dipped just below the 100 mark. But he takes the ball outside. Now he's ahead in the count, 2-1. And he has taken 4 walks and been hit by 3 pitches this year. His on-base percentage is nearly 200 points higher than his batting average. 2-1. Lined out to right field, a base hit for Prange. Alanis comes in to score. It's 1-0 Grandview. They got a leadoff single and now a 2-out single, and they strike first, 1-0 in the top of the third inning. Big hit right there for Drew Prange, who has his 4th hit of the season and his 2nd RBI. And now here's one hitter you do have to be afraid of, Tyler Smith. Smith swings at the first pitch and strokes it into center field. He's 2 for 2 as he comes up with a base hit, advancing Prange up to second base. 2 on, 2 out. Smith had a double in his first at bat and now a single. He's swinging a hot bat today. Here's Isaac Rodriguez. Back-to-back 2-out hits. That's now 4 safeties in the game for Grandview. Saints don't have one yet. Rodriguez is 0 for 1 with a ground out. He swings the first pitch and lines it hard out to right field, but this one cuts foul for strike 1. Everybody's swinging the bats well here in the third inning. Jumping on early pitches. 2 of the 3 singles this inning have come on the first pitch of the at-bat. Rodriguez jumped on the first pitch right there, but just pulled it slightly too far. Throw to first base, runner back in safely. That's Smith at first, Prange is at second. 2 outs in the inning, 1 run is in for the Vikings. It came on a 2-out single. And now they're looking for more. 0-1 on Rodriguez. Swing and a miss, it's 0-2. Isaac Rodriguez tied for the team lead with a .250 batting average coming in. And among the .250 hitters on the team, he's got the most at bats. Tyler Smith, however, is 2 for 2 today. Ball inside, 1-2. Smith also came in hitting at .250, and that average has shot up to .300 with his 2 for 2 start in this game. He's now 9 for 30 on the season. 1-2. In the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Reardon struggling to put hitters away here in the 3rd inning. After giving up the leadoff single, he recorded back-to-back outs. He fell behind Prange 2-1 before giving up the RBI single. And now Rodriguez is trying to make it 3 straight hits. He rolls it weakly to the right side. Fair and gloves it, flips to Reardon, covering first base. The inning is over. Second ground out for Rodriguez to first base today. But damage done here in the 3rd. A run on 3 hits. They leave 2. On our way to the bottom of the frame. Grandview leads 1-0. What a nothing. Grandview leads St. Francis in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Bottom of the order coming up for the Fighting Saints. John Harper leads things off. First pitch of the inning. Harper grounds it to the right side. Tough play. It's picked up by the first baseman, Josh Luna. His throw to first is not in time. It's an infield single for Sean Harper, who dives head first into the bag. And the Saints have their first base runner of the game. When you're struggling to get going offensively a little bit, you'll take those base runners any way you can get them. That was one of the softest hit singles you'll ever see, but he batted it right into no man's land between the first baseman, the second baseman, and the pitcher. Not an easy play for any of them. Ultimately, the ball was picked up by Josh Luna at first base. He threw it over to the pitcher covering the bag, and it just wasn't in time. Tag play down at first base on a pickoff throw. Luna didn't get it on Harper in time. An infield hit for Harper. Noah Carraro, the batter now. Carraro getting a rare chance to hit. This is just his 11th at bat of the season. He's 2 for 10 with a couple of singles, starting for only the 4th time this year. Squares to bunt, drops it down. It's a good bunt, third base side. Picked up by Prange, double clutch, but he still has enough time to get Carraro by half a step. It's a sacrifice. Harper advances to second base on the play. Runner in scoring position with 1 out. Similar spot that Grandview was in their half of the 3rd inning. They also got a single on the first pitch of the inning, and their next man bunted him over. If it continues apace, Dolan Nicholson here will fly out to right field and advance the runner. I don't know if I'm counting on that. Nicholson hitting 176 on the season. He's 6 for 34. Starting for the 12th time. He takes ball one high. It was a 2-out RBI single that got Grandview on the board in the top of this third inning. And now the Saints have a man in scoring position, Sean Harper. Parker Thode worried about Harper. Looked back to second just a moment ago. Feigned to throw to second base, but with nobody covering the bag, no reason for Harper to worry. Ball inside. The count is 1-1. Excuse me, 2-0 now on Dolan Nicholson. The man on base is Sean Harper. Harper, a speedy fellow. He's got 2 stolen bases this year. Thode's been keeping a close eye on him, even since he's advanced to second base. 2-0. Nicholson fouls it off to the left side. It's 2-1. St. Francis is looking to win their 8th consecutive game. They've scored 5 or more runs in every one on the 7-game winning streak. 2-1 is grounded to the right side. This does advance the runner, but Sergio Alanis has an easy play at first base for out number 2. So the inning has gone very similarly to the top frame. A leadoff single, a sacrifice bunt, and then an advancement on out number 2. It's going to be up to Travis Schoonover to get this 2-out runner in from third base. It's Sean Harper. Travis Schoonover is 0 for 1. Hit the ball hard his first time up, but he flew to deep right field. Nolan Friedrichs was able to make the grab on him on the warning track. Schoonover, a .338 hitter for the season, though, entering play today. He's the only man to have started every game this year for St. Francis. He takes strike 1. Schoonover's got 7 RBIs. He's looking to make it 8 right now and tie the score. Righty versus lefty, the 0-1. Check swing on a ball low and inside. They will appeal. He did not go around. 1-1 then on Schoonover. Junior outfielder from Braidwood, Illinois. Sean Harper reached on an infield single. He's the man at third base right now. Here comes the 1-1. That misses for ball 2. 2 straight misses from Parker Thode. Thode, one of the better strike-throwing pitchers around. He's not been behind too many batters today, though he did fall behind Dolan Nicholson as well just moments ago. Hasn't walked anybody yet today. Only 3 all season in 23 innings. Swing and a miss. It's 2-2. Today he's got 3 strikeouts through 2 2/3. He's bidding for another one right here. Pitcher's count now on Schoonover at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Harper takes his lead from third. Thode gets the sign from the catcher Caleb McDowell. He's set for the big 2-2. On its way. Schoonover is hit by the pitch. Harper crosses the plate, but he'll have to go back to third base. I don't know if he realizes that that one hit Schoonover. He grabbed the bat and started going back to the dugout thinking he had scored a run. But it would have only been ball 3 on Schoonover. He would never have taken his base if that hadn't hit him. So they're at the corners now. Schoonover is certainly a good candidate to get the runner in from third base, so in a way you hate to see the bat taken out of his hands, but there were already 2 strikes on him. And anytime you got a pitcher's count like that, if you're able to find your way on, you can't complain. So here's Michael Quirum trying to get the runner in from third. He swings at the first pitch and hits a foul ball. Strike 1 to the left side. Michael Quirum is 0 for 1. He struck out swinging in the first inning. Quirum now 3 for 14 on the season as a hitter for the Fighting Saints. Righty versus righty. Here comes the 0-1. It's taken over the outside corner for a strike. That makes the count 0-2. So once again, Thode is in the driver's seat, getting ahead of another St. Francis hitter. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. Saints trail by 1. Here's the 0-2. With the runner on the move, Quirum takes the ball outside. It's 1-2. No throw made down to second base. So Travis Schoonover advances himself into scoring position. It's 1-2 on Quirum, and now a base hit would likely score 2 runs. Thode still just 1 strike away from getting out of the inning unharmed. His 1-2 pitch. Quirum takes the ball off the outside corner. It's 2-2. Thode, as I've mentioned a few times, generally a good strike thrower. Hasn't walked anybody today, but he did hit Travis Schoonover. Was the 3rd batter he's plunked this year. Quirum trying to make him pay for it with a base hit that would likely give the Saints the lead. They trail 1-0 in the 3rd. Harper is at 3rd base. Schoonover is at 2nd base. Quirum has a 2-2 count, and the pitch from Parker Thode is looped into right center field. Coming on is Friedrichs, and it drops in front of him. Harper scores. Schoonover scores. It's a 2-run single from Michael Quirum. And the Saints do indeed take their first lead of the game. It's 2-1. Give Quirum his first 2 RBIs of the season. Didn't get all of that one, just a little blooper that he was able to plunk in front of Nolan Friedrichs. It did the trick. Here's Jake Lasota. All 3 runs in this game so far have been scored with 2 outs. They've all been scored in the 3rd inning as well. Jake Lasota takes strike 1. Lasota is the 6th batter of the inning. Through the first 2 innings, just 6 batters total came up. Runner goes, pitches inside for a ball. No throw, made down to 2nd. Michael Quirum has a stolen base, his 2nd of the year. And there's another man in scoring position. 1-1 the count on Lasota. Lasota can add to the lead even further with a hit. And he takes a strike. The count is 1-2. Thode hasn't had a problem getting ahead of hitters this inning. It's been putting them away. Back-to-back batters with 2 strikes have gotten on base. Schoonover was hit by a pitch. Turned out to be very costly. And then Quirum blooped a 2-run single into right field. Hard grounder right at the 3rd baseman. Drew Prange picks it up, throws it across the diamond, and ends the inning. But 2 runs score on 2 hits, 1 left. On our way to the 4th, it's 2-1 Saints. St. Francis leads 2-1 in the top of the 4th inning. John Reardon back to the mound and pitching with the lead for the first time. So he goes up against Luna, Friedrichs, and Chives. Josh Luna is 0 for 1. Hit the ball hard, but lined out to left field. His first time up. It's a 2-1 score as both teams were able to jump on the board in the 3rd inning after pitchers dominated the first 2. Luna takes ball 1 low and in. In the first 2 innings, we saw a combined total of 1 base runner. And then in the 3rd, we saw a combined total of 5 hits. 3 for Grandview, 2 for St. Francis. 6 total base runners in the inning. And ultimately, 3 runs scored. It's 2-0 on Josh Luna. This has been St. Francis's MO of late. Don't let anybody run away from them. Tapped foul, 2-1. Seems like the last few games they've played, when anyone scores, they're able to come right back and get back on the board with a run or two in the bottom of the inning. And that's one of the benefits to playing home games, which is why this 12-game homestand has been so beneficial to St. Francis. Pitcher for the Fighting Saints this inning is number 10, Tyler Dome, replacing John Reardon, who went the 3 innings. Gave up 1 run. Strike called on Luna. It's 2-2. 4 hits allowed by Reardon. Didn't strike anybody out. Check that. He struck out 1, walked nobody. This is Tyler Dome. Getting a fly ball from Josh Luna out to left field. Harper started back. Now he comes in and drops the ball. Ball is dropped out in left field by Sean Harper, and an error allows Luna to reach base safely to lead off the 4th inning. It hit him right in the glove. He should have made the catch. Not an easy catch, but the difficulty was also on Harper's watch. He misjudged the ball off the bat. He took a couple of steps back before he changed course and started sprinting in, and it was not enough time to adjust apparently. Nolan Friedrichs comes up with a man on, nobody out, and takes ball 1. Fighting Saints' defense has been fantastic of late. Not so on that play. 1-0 on Friedrichs, who's 0 for 1 with a flyout. He takes a ball inside. It's 2-0. For Tyler Dome, this is the 5th appearance this year. All of them out of the bullpen. He's 0-1 with an 8.31 ERA. In 8 2/3 innings pitched. Dome has allowed 8 runs, all of them earned on 13 hits, 5 strikeouts, 6 walks. Opponents are batting .371 this season off of the sophomore from St. Lawrence. Ball outside. It's 3-0 on Friedrichs. Check that. Dome is from Orange, California in his sophomore season here with St. Francis. Having some trouble early on in this appearance as he misses outside. He walks Friedrichs on 4 pitches. It's the first walk of the game for either team. It advances Luna up to second base, and there are now 2 on with nobody out for the designated hitter, Marcus Chives. 2-1 St. Francis leads. They scored their 2 runs in the bottom of the 3rd to take the lead, but it's in jeopardy right now. As the Saints are expecting a bunt. He was looking to bunt, but he takes ball 1 low. That's 5 straight misses from Tyler Dome, who has now missed on 7 of his 10 pitches. Entering play today, 6 walks in 8 2/3 innings, so it certainly has been a problem for him. The 1-0. Fouled back for a strike. It's 1-1. Third baseman Josh Tesh was in front of the bag down on the left side of the infield. Anthony Farron on the right side of the infield was charging from first base, expecting a bunt there. He was awfully close to the batter, and he decided on the second pitch not to bunt but to swing away. And he's looking to swing away here again, but he takes the ball low for 2-1 count. Two on, nobody out, 2-1 on Grandview's number 7 hitter. Swing and a miss. It's 2-2. Initially, it looked like they were going to have him bunt. He started to square up on the first pitch, which missed the strike zone. And the 3 pitches since, he has been looking to swing away. Doesn't have a sacrifice this year with 2 strikes. Doesn't look like he'll get his first in this at bat. He doesn't. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Big first out of the inning. And now Tyler Dome potentially could get out of it with a ground ball. It'll He'll go up against Sergio Alanis, who's 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored. Led off the third inning by swinging at the first pitch and reaching base. Eventually came in for the first run of the game. An RBI chance now for the shortstop. 2 on, 1 out. He drives this ball deep out to left field, down the line, cutting into foul territory and just out of play. Strike 1 on Sergio Alanis, who put a good swing on that ball, but he yanked it foul. It was deep left field, but it landed on the berm just a couple of feet beyond the border. So it's 0-1. Dome looking to get that ground ball. Nearly hit him on the breaking ball. It misses inside for ball 1 to even the count. Caleb McDowell is in the on-deck circle. Big at bat here for Alanis. He pops it up foul and out of play once again. It's 1-2. The reason I say it's a big at bat, for a number of reasons really. One of them, obviously, is that they're down by a run. And in just a 7-inning game, even though it's only the 4th, we're starting to get into the latter stages of it. So it's a big time for Grandview to try to come through and erase this 1-run deficit. But also the man on deck, Caleb McDowell, has just 1 hit this season. You don't want to force him to come up with a hit to score a run. Liner down the right field line and just foul. Anthony Farron leaped for that ball, and it was just over his glove. If he had touched that, he was in fair territory at the time. Even though the ball eventually cut foul and landed just beyond the foul line out in right field. So it's a good thing he didn't touch it. Trying to make the catch, of course, is a little bit too tall for him. Still 1-2 on Alanis. 217 hitter this year. He's got 1 RBI. Looking for numbers 2, maybe 3 here. He takes a ball in the dirt. Good block by Jake Lasota. Count is even, 2-2. Dome about to throw his 20th pitch of the inning. It's already been the longest offensive inning of the game for Grandview. Alani's just the 4th batter. No runs are in yet. 2-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Snap throw down to first, not in time to double up Friedrichs. But a big second out as Dome has back-to-back Ks. And now 7 strikeouts on the season in 9 1/3 innings pitched as he goes up against Caleb McDowell with 2 on base. Grandview's last chance to get a run here in the 4th. McDowell has no official at bat. He does have a sacrifice bunt. Ground ball down the third base line, foul for strike 1. McDowell is 1 for 12 at the bat this year. His sacrifice earlier in the game was his 2nd of the season. Despite going just 1 for 12, he's only struck out twice, so not necessarily an easy guy to put away. He flies this ball into shallow left field towards the line. Sean Harper comes in, gets to the spot, and makes the catch. The inning began with a fly ball out to left field that Harper dropped, but with 2 on and 2 out, he makes up for it by catching the McDowell pop fly to put away the Vikings in the 4th. No runs across the board. We're halfway through this game. 2-1, Saints lead. Anthony Farron leads off the bottom of the fourth for St. Francis, leading by a run and looking to extend that advantage against Parker Thode, whose first pitch is a strike to Farron. Anthony Farron is 0 for 1 in the ball game. He flew out to left field his first time up. That was in the second as a leadoff batter, and now as he leads off the fourth inning, quickly behind 0-1. Guy who's difficult to retire twice in a row. Doesn't happen all that often. He fouls this ball off to the right side, out of play. 0-2 on the senior first baseman. Farron, the reigning CCAC Player of the Week. And he hasn't followed that up with anything too shabby this week. He's had 2 very good games against Purdue Northwest on Thursday, Jensen on Tuesday. Check swing foul, back off the screen. Keeps the at-bat alive. Still 0-2. Mentioned earlier, the Saints have scored at least 5 runs in 7 consecutive games. So they've got a lead right now. They're looking to pile on, though, and keep that streak going. Ground ball to the shortstop. Gloved cleanly by Tyler Smith. The throw to first is in time for out number 1. Brings up Jonathan Wolf. Wolf is 0 for 1. He struck out looking in the second inning. 3 of the first 6 batters were struck out by Parker Thode. Hasn't gotten anybody since then. Struggled a little bit in the third inning. Gave up a pair of 2-out runs on an RBI hit from Michael Quirum. Jonathan Wolf tries to check his swing, and this time he is able to hold up. They'll appeal down to first, and indeed he didn't go. Wolf, his last time up, had a couple of awkward cuts trying to pull up on a check swing, but both times he went around and then ended up looking at strike 3. 1-0, misses downstairs, and Wolf made no attempts to offer at that one. It's 2-0. Bottom of the fourth inning. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Called strike 1. One out, nobody on. 2-1 on Wolf. He takes a ball in the dirt, 3-1. This is the first time today that Parker Thode has gone to 3 balls on any St. Francis hitter. He obviously has not walked anybody. Well, I guess technically, in a sense, he did go to 3 balls on Travis Schoonover. On a 2-2 pitch, he hit him. So it was the 3rd ball of the at-bat, put a man on for free. And he hits Jonathan Wolf now. So still no walks for Thode, but he has hit 2 batters. And the Saints have a 1-out man on with Josh Tesh coming up. Tesh is 0 for 1. He struck out looking back in the second inning. Again, Thode had the strikeout numbers going early with 3 of the first 6 going down on strikes. Tesh was the last of those 3. Hasn't struck out any of the last 8 batters. Tesh, it's a sharp grounder to short. Smith bobbles it, grabs it with the hand, throws over to first base, and it's not in time. Wolf advances to second base. Tesh is safe at first. An infield single for Josh Tesh. A tough one for Tyler Smith. A hard hit ball by Tesh. That had the chance, though, to be an inning-ending double play. It was not an easy play for Smith by any means. He had to move to his right, make a tough backhanded stop, but if he had made that play cleanly, it probably would have been 2 outs. Instead, no outs recorded on the play. 2 on, 1 out for Sean Harper. Harper is 1 for 1. He reached on an infield single to lead off the third. It was the first base runner of the game for St. Francis. First 6 batters were retired by Parker Thode, and 8 of the first 9 were set down, but 4 of the last 5 men have reached. Harper takes a ball outside, 1-0. Parker Thode taking his time between pitches. He stares in at his catcher, Caleb McDowell, trying to work his way out of a difficult spot with 2 on base, only 1 down. The 1-0 pitch. Ball low and away. It's 2-0. Thode suddenly struggling with his command after he's been so sharp in that regard all game. Base hit here from Harper gives the Saints their first multi-run lead of the game. He fouls it back off the screen, 2-1. A walk, of course, would load up the bases. Noah Carraro is waiting in the on-deck circle. 2-1 St. Francis. All of the runs were scored in the third inning. We're now in the bottom of the fourth. Pitchers dominated the first two frames. Just one total base runner between the two teams in the first two innings. But ever since then, both pitchers have found themselves in big trouble. All three pitchers, I should say. St. Francis has had two men run into some trouble. Called strike two. It's an even count on Harper. Reardon gave up the run in the third, and then Tyler Dome came in, had some trouble in the fourth inning, but recorded 3 straight outs to leave 2 men on base. Here's the 2-2. Check swing on a ball low and outside, and he did not go around. Full count on Harper. Wolf is at second, Tesh is at first. With 1 out in the inning, we'll see if Brian Mahalik sends him on 3-2 to Harper. Thode gets the sign and sets. Here's the payoff pitch. Runners are not moving, and Harper takes ball 4 upstairs. First walk of the game issued by Thode, not at an opportune moment. Wolf advances to third base. Tesh is up to second. And Harper at first now with 1 down for Noah Carraro. Noah Carraro, not really known for his bat, but he's got a chance here to pick up his first RBI of the season with the bases loaded and only 1 down. Meeting on the mound first as Caleb McDowell pops out of his crouch to go talk over the situation with his pitcher. Carraro has no official at-bats. Sacrifice bunt his first time up. Starting for just the 4th time this year. He's getting his 11th at-bat right now. Despite being just 2 of 10 at the plate on the season, he's scored 9 runs. Used primarily as a pinch runner. But today, trying to be a big batter. With Harper at first, Tesh at second, Wolf at third. Here's the set from Parker Thode and the first pitch of the at-bat. Misses outside for ball 1. Thode has very suddenly gone wild. He had been so sharp with his command all game. Not so much lately. 9 of his last 13 pitches have missed the zone. And there's finally a strike. It's 1-1. Saints have been out hit today 4-3, but thanks to the control problems of Parker Thode in the 4th, they've got a good run scoring chance. Carraro hits a weak grounder to second base. The throw goes to second for the force, over to first base. Not in time to turn 2. Jonathan Wolf crosses the plate. It's 3-1 St. Francis. Well, I mentioned Carraro, not really much of a batter typically. He's more of a runner. Well, in that case, his speed bought the Saints an extra run. A slower man probably would have been doubled up on the play, but because of the fielder's choice, the inning continues. Harper is thrown out 4-6 on the play. But Wolf scores. Tesh advances to third. Carraro safe at first, so they're at the corners with 2 down for Dolan Nicholson. Nicholson is 0 for 1 with a ground out to second base. Left-handed hitting outfielder. Throw goes over to first, and Carraro dives back in safely. Noah Carraro has 2 steals on the year. First pitch to Nicholson. Misses away, ball 1. 4th batter out of the last 5 to see a first pitch ball. The only one who didn't was Josh Tesh, who singled on the first pitch he saw. Parker Thode's fallen behind hitters with regularity here in the 4th inning. St. Francis has scored 3 unanswered runs to take a 2-run advantage over Grandview. 9 outs away now from their 8th consecutive victory. Ball low. It's 2-0 on Dolan Nicholson. Parker Thode, who had been so sharp early in the game, not sharp at all right now. Doesn't seem to know where the ball is going out of his hands more often than not. So the 2-0 comes in. That's well outside, 3-0. It's not just that he's missing by a lot this inning. He's walked a batter, he's hit a batter. And now he's fallen behind Nicholson, 3-0. There's a called strike. It's 3-1. Ever since Anthony Farron grounded out to begin the inning, he's been working from behind in the count that entire time. Twice as many balls as strikes, and there's another one that misses up high. Bases are loaded again on his third free pass of the inning. Nicholson takes first. Carraro moves up to second. Tesh still at third base. And we're back to the top of the order, and Travis Schoonover. But it looks like we're going to see a pitching change first. Parker Thode, who had only walked 3 batters in 3 starts coming into today, has walked 2 and hit 1 here in the 4th inning alone. He leaves. We've got a new pitcher coming in with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. St. Francis leads 3-1. I'll get you the info on the new pitcher in just a moment. New pitcher for Grandview with the bases loaded, 2 outs. Saints lead 3-1 in the 4th. Travis Schoonover is the batter. He's facing young right-hander Nick Johnson on for the 3rd time. Johnson has no record, a 13.5 ERA. In 2 innings, he's allowed 3 runs on 2 hits with 3 walks and 3 strikeouts. His first pitch to Schoonover is chopped to first base, picked up by Luna. He steps on the bag and the inning is over. Well, that was easy for Johnson. 1 pitch and he's out of the jam. Saints do score 1 run on 1 hit, 2 walks, a hit batter, 3 left on base. As we head to the 5th, it's 3-1, Saints on top. Top of the order for Grandview in the top of the 5th inning. They trail by a pair of runs, their largest deficit of the game. Connor Enox leads things off against Tyler Dome. He swings the first pitch, flies it high in the air out to left field, down the line, into foul ground. Harper will peel off as that one lands out of play. Strike one. Enox is 0 for 2. He's grounded out to first. He's flown out to right. Both of those at-bats were against the starter Reardon. This is his first chance now to face Tyler Dome, the sophomore right-hander, who got off to a rough start in the 4th. Allowed Luna to reach on an error and then walk Friedrichs. There were runners at first and second with nobody out, but he pitched out of it without allowing a run. Trying to retire the leadoff man here. Enox lofts it into foul territory, and the ball drops just out of the reach of the glove of the shortstop Jonathan Wolf. That sun seems to be causing big problems for guys out on the field right now. It goes as a strike on Enox, so for the time being at least, no harm done, but we'll see where the rest of this at-bat goes. That looked like a routine pop-up off the bat. Third baseman Josh Tesh was apparently under it, but he threw up his hand, said he couldn't find it in the sun, so Wolf came in to back him up, and Wolf dropped the ball. So both men seem to lose it in the sun. Now the 0-2 to Enox. Fly ball out to left field. Harper goes back on it. Harper gets there and makes the catch. There's out number one. So the misplay on the foul ball just a moment ago turns out not to have any impact on the play. Just one pitch later, the out is recorded. Here's Drew Pranch. 1 for 2. With an RBI single, he grounded out to second base in the first inning. His single back in the third put Grandview up 1-0. That was their only lead of the game as the Saints came back with 2 runs in the bottom of the inning and then 1 more in the 4th. Fouled away by Pranch for strike 1. Vikings have out-hit the Saints 4-3. Remember, 4 is right around the average for Grandview in terms of hits per game. And they've reached it early on in this one, but haven't been able to score many runs out of it. So that ball's tapped back to the mound, picked up by Dome, and Dome just runs down the first base line and tags the runner going by for out number 2. 1 unassisted on the putout, and the batter is Tyler Smith. Ball popped out of the glove of Tyler Dome after the tag was applied. Kind of forced out by Pranch, and the umpire signaled that the out was official. Tyler Smith, the one man on Grandview who has not been retired yet today. Smith is 2 for 2, a single and a double. He's raised his average up to 300. Going into his last game earlier this week against Waldorf, Smith had been batting under 150 for the season, and it's up to 300 after 6 hits in his last 2 games. But this is a ground ball to second base. Picked up cleanly. The throw over to first from Noah Carraro is in time to end the inning. So for the first time today, Smith is retired, and for the first time since the 2nd inning, the Saints have a 1-2-3 inning. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. It's 3-1 St. Francis. Saints lead 3-1 in the bottom of the 5th inning, looking to pile on with their 2, 3, and 4 due up. Michael Quirum leads things off. First pitch to him is bunted, third base side, foul. Strike 1. Quirum's got the biggest hit of the game so far with 2 on and 2 out in the 3rd. His single turned a 1-0 deficit into a 2-1 lead as he knocked in both Sean Harper and Travis Schoonover. Saints have led ever since. Queerum struck out in the first inning. He's 1 for 2 overall. Next pitch from Johnson is grounded to third. Off the glove of Drew Prange. He sticks with it, throws over to first, not in time. It's an error on Drew Prange, and Queerum's got himself on base for the second time today. Leadoff man aboard for the Fighting Saints. Here's Jake Lasota. That error was set up by the Queerum bunt on the first pitch. Dropped it down the third base line. It went foul, but it forced Prange to creep in at third. He was even with the bag. As a result, that ground ball got on him in a hurry, and he didn't react quickly enough as Lasota takes strike one. He knocked the ball down, rolled a few feet off to his side, stuck with it, but the throw to first was late. The 0-1 to Lasota gets away from the catcher McDowell. Queerum advances to second. He was thinking about third, took a hard turnaround second base, but he'll stay where he is. Wild pitch advances the runner. It's 1-1 on Lasota. And now a man in scoring position with nobody out thanks to the defensive mistakes. Defensive and pitching, I guess, mistakes of Grandview. An error and a wild pitch. The 1-1 to Lasota. Ball outside, 2-1. Looked like he was squaring up to bunt on the last pitch, not on the 1-1 offering. He's 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts in the game, one to the right side, one to the left. Saints are looking to put this game away as Lasota swings and misses. It's 2-2. They can come close to doing that with a few runs in this inning. Grandview is a team that scores only 2 runs per game on average. So if you put 4, 5, 6 on the board against them with just 2 innings to play, they're going to have an awfully hard time coming back. Nick Johnson threw 1 pitch last inning, came in with the bases loaded and 2 outs, got Travis Schoonover to ground out to first base. This is the first inning that he's started, and it hasn't started well for him. An error, and now a 2-2 count on Lasota with a man at second base. Lasota grounds it to third. This time Prange fields it cleanly. The throw across the diamond is a step ahead of Jake Lasota for out number 1. Good play by Prange, not only making it cleanly, but making sure that the runner at second was not able to move to third. 1 out, here's Anthony Farron. Farron is 0 for 2. He's flown out to left field and grounded out to the shortstop. He checks his swing on the first pitch and takes it as a strike. It's 0-1. Bottom of the 5th inning, we're playing 7 as part of today's doubleheader. St. Francis leads Grandview 3-1. 2 teams that haven't seen each other in a while. Tapped foul, it's 0-2. They don't play each other every year because they're not in the same conference. It's a rarity at this stage of the season to be playing a non-conference game in late March. Saints are already 6-0 in the CCAC, and they get a rest over the weekend. Check swing from Farron on a ball downstairs. He did not go around. Now they'll ask for appeal and confirmation that he did not go around. 1-2. Saints played against non-conference foe and non-division foe Purdue Northwest on Thursday and beat them. And now they got the weekend series with Grandview. Back to conference action on Wednesday. And then they're done with non-conference play all the way until the end of the year. Ball outside, 2-2. As is the custom, early May, last game of the season, St. Francis will play Lewis. But that's it as far as non-conference games go the rest of the year. 2-2. In the dirt, ball 3. It was 0-2 on Anthony Farron, and now the count has gone full. 1 out, a runner at second base. Saints lead by 2 in the bottom of the 5th inning. comes the payoff pitch from Nick Johnson. It's in the dirt for ball 4, and now they've got the runner caught up, but a missed throw down to second base, and Quirum makes it into third. So Farron walks. Quirum advances to third base as he had gotten a big secondary lead on a ball that was in the dirt. Looked like he was thinking about trying for third. Caleb McDowell was able to make the stop on the ball in the dirt, though. So he threw back to second trying to get Quirum out. Quirum took off for third base as the throw went into second. And Quirum may have been safe at third regardless, but because it was a bad throw down to second, he easily made it in and to stolen base. They're at the corners with one out for Jonathan Wolf. Anthony Farron will be pinch run for here. Bailey Schultz comes in and grabs the helmet at first base. So now a serious chance for St. Francis to add to their lead. They scored 2 runs in the third, 1 in the fourth, trying to make it 3 straight innings with at least 1 run scored. Jonathan Wolf is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He's also been hit by a pitch. Infield plays back for Grandview. They're looking for a double play on any ground ball. Jonathan Wolf hits a line drive to the left side and under the glove of the shortstop Tyler Smith on the dive. Quirum scores. Schultz heading for third base, diving into second safely is Jonathan Wolf. An RBI 2-bagger. It's 4-1 St. Francis. Jonathan Wolf has his 10th RBI of the season. Nice base running all around as Schultz makes it from first to third. An aggressive base running for Wolf as he just does get into second base with the double. Still only 1 out. Here's Josh Tesh, and now the infield comes in all around as Tesh takes strike 1. Saints looking to put this game away once and for all with a big base hit here from Tesh. Strike 1 offering. Check swing and a ball downstairs. It's 1-1. Josh Tesh is 1 for 2. He singled in the 4th inning. Contributed to a run-scoring rally. Struck out looking in the 2nd. First 3 innings, plus the first 2 outs of the 4th, were pitched by Parker Thode. It's been Nick Johnson in ever since. Johnson misses for ball 2 on Tesh. He's gotten 2 outs. He's only allowed 1 hit, 1 walk, but 1 run, and he's in more trouble in the 5th inning. Two and 1. High fly, foul to the right side. Looks like it may stay playable for Josh Luna. In front of the dugout, he makes the catch, and the runners hold their positions at 2nd and 3rd. Big out recorded by Johnson as Tesh pops up into foul territory. And now it's up to Sean Harper to try to get this run in from third base and maybe another run in from second. Harper 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. A run scored. He has not yet been retired today. Ball high, 1-0. Bottom of the 5th inning, and the Saints are starting to pull away as they have scored in 3 consecutive frames. Grandview's only run came in the top of the 3rd. Big swing and a miss from Harper. 1-1. Saints have put up some big offensive numbers over the last 2 weeks. Trying to throw another big number on the board in the 5th inning today. Called strike 2. They're down to their final strike. Wolf is at 2nd. Pinch runner Schultz is at 3rd. 1 and 2 on Harper. A long look in from the pitcher Nick Johnson to the catcher Caleb McDowell. He's set for the 1-2 offering. Fouled back off the screen. It remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Game 2 set to commence about a half hour after this one ends. We've got a full day of baseball here in Joliet as the Saints try to pick up their 8th and 9th consecutive victories. They're in good shape to get number 8, though still a couple of innings to play in this game as Harper bloops it foul to the right side. Still 1 and 2. Just one hit so far in the inning, but thanks to a walk and an error, Saints have been able to keep it rolling. Fouled back again by Harper. It's still 1-2. 3 straight 2-strike foul balls. He'll see a 7th pitch, the 4th of which will be on a 1-2 count. Johnson is ready to go. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Sean Harper. He hits a pop foul out of play. And another 1-2 pitch will be ordered up. Schultz takes a walk down the third base line as another 1-2 pitch comes into Harper. And he takes it for a called strike 3. A good long at bat, but in the end it goes the way of the pitcher. 1 run scores on 1 hit, 1 error, 2 left on base. Heading to the 6th, it's 4-1 St. Francis. Five innings down, 2 to play here in game 1 of a doubleheader. It's 4-1 St. Francis. They took their first lead in the 3rd inning and have extended it each inning ever since. Middle of the order due up for Grandview in the top of the 6th. Isaac Rodriguez leads things off against Tyler Dome. And the first pitch is lined into right field. Coming on and making the catch is Schoonover. Solid swing from Rodriguez, but Schoonover was Johnny on the spot. And an easy start to the inning for Dome. 1 pitch, 1 out. Dome's been impressive. He's retired 7 in a row after a shaky start. Let the first 2 batters he faced reach base. It looked like Grandview was poised to score at least 1 run in the 4th inning. They had him at first and second, nobody out. Back-to-back strikeouts helped put the kibosh on that idea. Luna takes strike 1. Luna was the first man to reach when he led off the 4th inning, and he had a pop-up to left field that was dropped by Sean Harper. The error was followed by a 4-pitch walk, and that's what created the trouble that ultimately didn't provide any problems for St. Francis. Luna's foul ball makes the count 0-2. Dome entered play today with 6 walks issued in only 8 2/3 innings, and when he walked the second batter he faced today on 4 pitches, you got the sense that it could be a long appearance for him, and it hasn't worked out that way. He's settled in and been very good ever since. He misses for ball 1 on Luna. Not only has he been effective, but his control has been good. The 1-2. Ball outside, 2-2. One out, nobody on base. Luna is 0 for 2. He's hit the ball to left field twice. And he takes a ball off the inside corner here, full count. It was 0-2 on Luna. Dome has missed on 3 straight pitches. And this one should result in the payoff. Ball 4 inside. He walked him. Second walk issued today by Tyler Dome. That snaps the string of 7 consecutive batters retired. And it brings Friedrichs to the plate with 1 out. Like I said, he's had good control. In fact, right after I said it, he threw 4 straight balls after he had been 0-2 on Luna. Friedrichs is 0 for 1 with a flyout. First time he faced Dome, he walked but was stranded at first base. He takes a ball in the dirt. That's 5 straight misses from Dome. He's got a 3-run lead late. Just wants to throw some strikes here, make him hit the ball. Something that Grandview hasn't done all that well on the season. Just a 164 team batting average entering play today. For Nolan Friedrichs, a little bit worse than that. It was 143 coming in. And he's 0 for 1 in the game. He fouls it straight back out of play. Count is 1-1. That snaps the string of 5 straight balls thrown by Dome. So we'll see if that one gets him back on track. Saints are 5 outs away from the win. It would be their 8th in a row. They were 4-11 when they came home to start this homestand on March 13th. That was a week ago last Wednesday. Ball outside, 2-1. There is action down in the St. Francis bullpen now as Dome starts to struggle with the strike zone. Right-hander warming up. Throw over to first base. Not in time. Luna at first. 1 out. 2-1 on Friedrichs. Dome sets. Here's the pitch. Hit in the air, shallow center field. Nicholson comes in, fights the sun and drops the ball. Throws it over to second, and it is not in time to get the force at second base. And I'm going to assume that was another sun issue, but it's been a problem for everybody. There have been drop balls all over the place as Friedrichs reaches first base on the single. Luna into second base. We saw Sean Harper misjudge a ball and then drop it back in the 4th inning. We saw on a Connor Enoch's pop-up last inning in a foul territory, both Josh Tesh and Jonathan Wolf lost the ball in the sun. That one was no harm, no foul because it was a foul ball, and the next pitch ended up being an out anyway. But right there, Dolan Nicholson couldn't find the ball because of the sun. Chase Hartleben is going to come up as a pinch hitter, but looks like he'll be coming up against a new pitcher. Hunter Morawski has been throwing down in the bullpen, and we may see Morawski right now as Brian Mahalik walks out to the mound. Tyler Dome has not gotten a lot of help from his outfield defense in this appearance. He's only given up the 1 hit, 1 error, 2 walks, struck out 2. He's allowed 4 total base runners. The first 2 batters he faced, and then he retired 7 in a row, and now the last 2 batters he's faced have reached. And he'll stay in the game to face the pinch hitter Hartleben. Big moment in the ball game here. Hartleben represents the tying run in the batter's box. Hartleben, a junior from Parker, Colorado. Hitting .250 for the season. He's 1 for 4. He's had 1 start. This is his 3rd time coming in as a pinch hitter. 1 hit, 2 walks in his 6 plate appearances. He's got Luna at second base, Friedrichs at first, and a 3-run lead, 5 outs away from the win. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Dome is set for the first pitch to Hartleben. It's bunted back to the pitcher. Dome throws to third base and gets the lead runner. That's the only out they'll get on the play, but a good one. An unsuccessful sacrifice as Luna is retired. 1-5 on the putout. Friedrichs advances to second on the play. Hartleben is safe at first. It goes as a fielder's choice. Hartleben did not have a sacrifice coming in. Down by 3. Surprised they would have him bunting right there. Maybe if they were down by 1 or 2, you could certainly see it. Sergio Alanes is the batter. He hits a ground ball to third base, picked up by Tesh. He carries it to his own bag for a force on a fielder's choice to end the inning. A walk, a hit, but no runs in the 6th inning as Tyler Dome pitches his way out of it. We'll head to the bottom of the frame. 4-1 St. Francis. It's St. Francis 4, Grandview 1 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Noah Carraro set to lead things off against a new Grandview pitcher. After Nick Johnson threw the last inning and a third, Jason McAlpine, the new man in the ball game, senior from Crystal Lake, Illinois, fires ball 1 to Noah Carraro. We're underway in the 6th. Carraro is 0 for 1 with an RBI groundout. He's also got a sacrifice bunt. It was his first RBI of the year. It was a big insurance run back in the 4th inning. Called strike 1. Count is even. McAlpine is pitching just his 2nd game this year. His first one was dominant. In 2 1/3 innings, he allowed no runs, 1 hit, 5 strikeouts, and no walks. Swing and a miss. He blows one by Carraro here. It's 1-2. McAlpine, an imposing figure on the mound. 6'3" tall, 205 pounds. He sets for the 1-2 and misses in the dirt. 2-2. 2 runs in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th for St. Francis, trying to make it 4 straight innings with at least 1 run, and they're also trying to make it 8 consecutive games with at least 5 runs scored. Carraro flies it in the air out to right field. Backing up is Friedrichs. He makes the catch. 1 up, 1 down in the 6th. The batter is Dolan Nicholson. Nicholson is 0 for 1. He grounded out to second base in the 3rd inning, walked in the 4th. Leadoff man retired here in the 6th inning. Nicholson, the number 9 batter, Schoonover, due up next. Nicholson swings through McAlpine's first pitch for strike 1. Left-handed hitting center fielder, now facing a lefty pitcher for the first time today. The 0-1 is taken for a strike. It's 0-2. McAlpine looking to put away Dolan Nicholson. And he does just that. Swing and a miss. 2 down. That's the 5th strikeout for Grandview pitchers today. And it brings Schoonover up. The first strikeout for McAlpine, who now has 3 innings pitched this year. No runs allowed. Giving up just 1 hit in his 2 appearances. Travis Schoonover, though, should be a tough test for the southpaw, who misses for ball 1. Schoonover's 0 for 2. He's grounded out and flown out. He's also been hit by a pitch and scored a big run. In fact, if this score holds, it will be the game-winning run that he scored. Fouled back off the screen, 1-1. Next pitch is fouled back. And the count is 1-2. McAlpine just struck out Nicholson, and now trying to do the same thing to Travis Schoonover. The veteran pitcher is in the driver's seat. 1 ball, 2 strikes. McAlpine gets the sign from Caleb McDowell. He sees the sign he likes, gets set, and delivers the 1-2. Schoonover fights it off foul to stay alive. In the 7th inning, 9, 1, and 2 are due up for Grandview. They'll need at least 3 runs to keep the game alive. Another 1-2 pitch. Ground ball up the middle, ranging to his right. Alanis backhands it, throws over to first. It's not in time. An infield single for Travis Schoonover. Saints have a man aboard with 2 outs. They haven't been set down in order since the 2nd inning, and that stretch continues as Michael Quirum comes to bat. Quirum is 1 for 3 with a 2-run single, a stolen base, and a run scored. Actually got 2 stolen bases in the game. 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th. He reached on an error his last time up. First pitch, McAlpine to Quirum. Low and in, ball 1. Infield hit for Schoonover has extended the inning. 1 on, 2 out. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Lined out to right field, a base hit for Quirum. That's 2 for him, and it rolls past the glove of Nolan Friedrichs. Rounding third base is Travis Schoonover. He's going to score. Rounding third base now is Michael Quirum. He's going to try to score. The throw to the plate is in time, and he is out number 3. But it's a base hit for Quirum and a run. The Schoonover run does count. He crossed the plate before the final out off the misplay out in right field by Friedrichs. And another one comes in for St. Francis as they score for the 4th consecutive inning and build their lead to 5-1 as we head into the 7th, 3 outs away from the win for the Fighting Saints. Saints 5, Vikings 1 as we move into the 7th inning. Last chance for Grandview. They'll face St. Francis reliever Hunter Morawski on for the 7th time. He's 2-1 with a 1.64 ERA. In 11 innings pitched, he's allowed 4 runs, 2 of them earned on 10 hits. He's got 4 strikeouts, 8 walks, and he gets Caleb McDowell to pop the first pitch he sees fouling out of play for strike 1. Murawski was looking for his second save of the season when he was warming up, but because St. Francis added a run in the bottom of the 6th inning, it's no longer a save opportunity. That's okay. Murawski will try to get the 3 outs anyway. The 0-1. Flown out to center field. Backing up is Nicholson. He's there. He's got it. 1 away. McDowell 0 for 2 in the ball game, and that brings up Connor Enox. Enox is 0 for 3. He has grounded out once and flown out twice. He needs to get on base here for the Vikings to start to mount this rally that they've been looking for ever since the 3rd inning. They had a 1-0 lead, but the Saints have scored 5 unanswered runs. 2 in the 3rd and 1 in each of the 3 innings hence. Ball 1 on Enox. Murawski gets the sign from Lesota. He's set for the next offering. Ground ball to third base. Backhanded stop down the line by Tesh. He bobbles it and has no play at first base. It's an error on Josh Tesh, and life remains for Grandview. Has not been a good defensive game for St. Francis, and that's been a rarity during their long winning streak. They've performed well in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and pitching. Today the offense has been there, the pitching has been there, the defense not so much. So officially their second error, but there were a couple of other plays as well that could have been made that weren't. There's a ground ball to second, trying to make up for it with a good defensive play here. Carraro to second for 1, and a wild throw to first base does not quite end the ball game as Drew Prange is safe at first base. Fielder's choice 4-6. And now the Vikings are down to their final out. Good play made by Carraro. He had to range to his left, glove it, throw back over to second base, and he made it flawlessly, but Jonathan Wolf's relay throw was wild. And there's another point where it's not an error, but a defensive play that could have been made that wasn't. Fouled off by Tyler Smith for strike 1. At the moment, it doesn't look as though the porous defense is going to cost St. Francis in this game, but they'll try to get it cleaned up before game 2. Look for a convincing second game victory. Ball downstairs, 1-1. Still work to be done in this one. Hunter Murawski needs to get one more out here. He's retired 2 of the 3 batters he faced. Connor Enox reached on an error. That's Drew Prange over at first base right now after the fielder's choice. Smith smacks it through the left side of the infield. Another hit for him. Tyler Smith is now 3 for 4. He's 7 for 10 in his last 2 ball games. Prange up to second base. 2 on, 2 out. Isaac Rodriguez trying to reach base to bring the tying run to the plate. Rodriguez is 0 for 3. He's grounded out to first base twice and lined hard to right field. Suddenly the Saints have got to be feeling a little bit nervous about this one. The middle of the order up. Protecting a 4-run lead, 2 men on base with 2 outs in the 7th. Rodriguez takes ball 1. Saints are still in very good shape, but it's not over. Rodriguez takes a wild swing and misses for strike 1. One run, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Vikings, 5, 6, and 2 for the Saints. Ground ball left side, and that ball gets through. Another base hit. Rodriguez advances Prange to third base and Smith to second. Drew Prange thought about trying to score there, but it was not worth the risk. In a 4-run game, his run doesn't matter if the guys behind him can't score. And so in this particular case, he decided not to try it. They're loaded. Tying run is at the plate, and it's Josh Luna. An error and 2 singles have kept the game alive. Only 1 error in the inning, but there was also the fielder's choice that Drew Prange hit. That could have been a double play on a better throw. Fouled off by Josh Luna for strike 1. Luna is 0 for 2, but he's been on base twice. Reached on an error in the 4th inning, walked in the 6th, and here he is in the 7th inning, representing Grandview's final hope. The 0-1, fouled straight back, it's 0-2, and now the Vikings are down to their final strike. 5-1 St. Francis. Grandview has now out-hit them 7-4. But they trail, or 7-6 rather, but they trail by 4 runs. The 0-2. Ball high, 1-2. Couldn't get Luna to chase that one. If Josh Luna does reach base, Nolan Friedrichs will bat next. If not, we start getting ready for game 2. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll do it. St. Francis comes out victorious by a 5-1 final score. They win their 8th consecutive ball game. Good pitching, some good offense in the latter innings as they score in each of the final 4 frames. And now the Saints are back above 500. I shouldn't say back, they're above 500 for the first time all year. They lost their first 3 games of the season and in fact started 1-6, but they have come on strong ever since. Today they improved to 12-11 with their 8th consecutive win, and they'll have a chance for their 9th straight win in just a little bit. Game 2 of this doubleheader coming up shortly. Let's recap Game 1 first, though. It didn't start off well for the Saints, certainly not offensively, as their first 6 batters of the game were retired. Both pitchers dominated the first 2 innings, only 1 total base runner in those first 2 frames, but Grandview got the offense going in the 3rd. Sergio Alani singled, and then with 2 outs in the inning, he was knocked in by Drew Prange to make it 1-0. Not long after that, though, St. Francis took the lead for good. In the bottom of the 3rd, Sean Harper singled, Travis Schoonover was hit by a pitch, and with 2 outs and 2 strikes, Michael Quirum came up with a bloop single to right to put the Saints on top 2-1. The lead they carried the rest of the game. They added 1 more in the 4th on an RBI fielder's choice from Noah Carraro. They scored 1 in the 5th on a Jonathan Wolf RBI double. And in the 6th inning, a 2-out run-scoring single hit by Michael Quirum, who was involved either by knocking it in or by scoring on 4 of the 5 runs today. That made the score 5-1. And despite loading up the bases with 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning, Grandview was not able to cut into the deficit at all. 5-1 is our final score. With the win, St. Francis improves to 12-11. With the loss, Grandview falls to 3-8. We've got 1 more still to come today, so I'm going to step aside for now, but be back in about a half hour, sometime shy of 3:30. We'll have the start time for game number 2 of today's Twin Bill. Game 1 is in the books, though. Saints win 5-1.